If you've been scrolling through endless listings of frame joining machines, watching demo videos, and still can't decide which one actually makes sense for your shop, you're not alone. The fear of splurging on a piece of equipment that turns out to be a glorified nail gun, or worse, a machine that constantly jams and wastes time, is real. That hesitation is exactly why I'm doing this deep dive review, to cut through the hype and let you know whether the Fletcher U200P semi-automatic picture frame joining machine is the right fit for you. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, let's talk about the environment where this tool lives. The U200P is a benchtop unit, which means you'll need a dedicated work surface about the size of a small table. It's not a portable, handheld device you can toss onto a job site. It's built to stay in a framing shop, hobby room, or a serious DIY space where you routinely produce multiple frames a week. If you're the type who only makes a frame or two a month, you might find the footprint and the learning curve a bit much. But if you run a small framing business, or you're a hobbyist who cranks out custom shadow boxes, canvas stretchers, or even picture frame kits for friends, the benchtop design gives you a stable platform that keeps your pieces from shifting while the nails drive in. What sets the U200P apart from the cheap, manual nailers you see at hardware stores is its semi-automatic, two-position pneumatic foot pedal. The first position clamps the molding securely, and the second actuates the nail driver. In practice, this means you can line up a piece, press the pedal once to lock it, and then press again to insert the nail without having to juggle a separate hammer or manual nail gun. I've watched a few frame makers run a batch of 12-inch mat boards through this workflow, and the rhythm feels almost like a small assembly line: clamp, nail, release, repeat. That speed boost is where a lot of the value lives. For a shop that does 20-30 frames a day, shaving even 30 seconds off each joint adds up to an hour or more of labor saved over a week. The machine ships with a box of 7mm and 10mm of nails designed for medium to hardwood molding. That's a thoughtful inclusion because many entry-level units force you to buy the nails separately, which can be a hidden cost. The quick-change magnetic base hold-down is another practical feature. You can slide different molding profiles onto the base, and the magnets keep them in place while the pneumatic piston does its work. I've seen users with ornate, wider profiles that normally would require a custom jig, and they simply swap the magnetic base and continue without any extra tooling. It's not a miracle that solves every profile, but for the majority of standard frames, 1-inch to 1-inch moldings, it's a genuine time saver. Now, let's be honest about the trade-offs. The U200P relies on a pneumatic system, so you'll need a compressor that can deliver at least 90 psi. If you already have a shop compressor, that's no big deal, but it does add an extra piece of equipment you have to maintain and power. The foot pedal is sturdy, but it does have a learning curve. The first few minutes you might press too hard on the clamp and feel the frame shift a fraction, which can lead to misaligned nails. Once you get the timing down, a quick tap for clamping, a firm press for the nail, it becomes smooth, but it's not as plug-and-play as a fully automatic unit that handles clamping and nailing with a single button. Another practical limitation is the size of the nail driver block. It's optimized for medium and hardwood molding, but if you work a lot with very thin pine or delicate synthetic trim, you might find the driver a bit aggressive, risking splits or overdriving the nail. The package does not include a softer nail option, so you'd have to source that separately. That said, most professional framers stick with hardwood or medium-weight profiles for durability, so for that core market the driver works well. Who should buy this machine? If you are a small to medium framing business, a seasoned hobbyist who produces custom frames on a regular basis, or a craft studio that offers framing as an add-on service, the U200P's semi-automatic workflow, magnetic hold-down, and included nail kits make it a solid investment. The speed gains translate directly into higher throughput and, ultimately, more profit per hour. If you already have a reliable manual nailer and only need to produce a few frames a month, you'll likely be better off sticking with what you have. Likewise, if you need a portable solution for on-site installations, the benchtop design will feel cumbersome. In terms of value, The headline specs, a dual-function foot pedal, magnetic base, and a trouble-free piston driver all line up with what professional framers have been asking for: consistency, speed, and minimal setup changes between jobs. The 4.5-star rating from roughly 500 reviewers suggests that most owners find the